Where's that bridge? Well, I mean, I just don't.
Yeah, it goes to the it's minor, so it's yeah 1 5.
Yeah, 4 1.
And then the tag at the end of each line is
Sunshine better than sunshine, better than sun. Damn sure better than rain.
Good morning. Oh, how joyous it is being here today. Oh, just looking at all these beautiful faces of love and light, God's image and likeness right here, right now in this room. My name is Hazel Bowman, and I am one of the licensed practitioners that has the absolute fun, joy, and privilege in serving this center. This is the moment for what we refer to as our in-service, pre-service meditation. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and just invite you to get comfortable. And I want you just to somewhat go within. For when the lips are closed, there is room for the heart to speak. And when the heart is silent, the great inner mystery of spirit can blaze up and illuminate life. This is the secret that all the mystics know. So I invite you to just get more settled and more comfortable in your chair. And if you feel comfortable in doing so, to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and then release them. And after those few deep breaths, just breathe normally, allowing your body temple to take what it needs. Visualize yourself on the shore of an ocean. Bask in the warmth of the sun. Feel its rays caressing your skin. And smell the fresh tang of the ocean salt water. Hear the sounds of the waves cresting and falling as it comes to shore. Waves are caused by energy passing through the water, causing the water to move. Notice how the tide ebbs, returning to its source. As the tide ebbs, allow every worry, task, and negative thought to float away. You have no time for them here, And so you let each of them go. Every bad thought, every fear, and every negative thought, every worry, watch them float away on the great big ocean in your mind. As you sit on the shore, you hear a voice in the distance telling you, "Today I am happy. Today I am capable. Today I am worthy." The voice loops over and over. Today I am happy. Today I am capable. Today I am worthy. As the voice continues speaking, you watch the waves caused by your thoughts settle. The great ocean before you becomes still and clear. Today I am happy. Today I am capable. Today I am worthy. Slowly, without turning, your eyes still on the clear water, you realize that that voice is coming from within you. Today, I am happy. Today, I am capable. Today, I am worthy. For the rest of this meditation, continue visualizing yourself on that ocean shore, hearing that inner voice within you affirm and proclaim, "Today I am happy. Today I am capable. Today I am worthy." as you emerge gently into your oneness and knowingness of spirit, you recognize that you are the image and likeness of God. The likeness of spirit cannot be unlike spirit. Your mantra is, today I am happy. Today I am capable. Today I am worthy. And so it is. Namaste.
No. I want you to play. Yeah. Sorry, so the first one is 6 times. Of the bridge? 4, yeah. So it's 64. The odd one is.
Maybe I'll just have you play that part by yourself.
You can do it.
6, 4.
6, 4 again. And we go to
Okay.
it's a 4.
Okay.
And then the flat.
Yeah. 5. Yeah. It's A flat to F, right?
No, the 5.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Oh, she just likes playing Jeopardy for the final review.
Good morning. So great to see so many beautiful faces, and welcome to everyone online. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott, Arizona. Thank you, Hazel, for the beautiful pre-service meditation. I have some announcements. We are finally there. Saturday is the practitioners' graduation ceremony. Please join us here in the sanctuary at 2 p.m. as we celebrate our newest practitioners. This Wednesday is a town hall meeting, 5:30 p.m. in the sanctuary and online. Contact Reverend Kathleen for the Zoom password if you are joining us online. There are still openings for tech volunteers. Contact Clay Smith. This is a great skill to have. Your grandkids will think you're really cool. Every Monday at noon, John Haas leads meditation. It's live streamed on Facebook, and Jackson provides the marvelous music. Please tune in. And lastly, the Hospitality Circle will meet after service in Sibley Hall. Thank you, and enjoy the service.
Good morning. My name is Hazel Bowman, and I have the honor of being the practitioner for today's Sunday service. And what a joy it is for me. I see this room filled with the light and love of God, and I see it in each and every one of your faces. And so let us go ahead and open this service in knowingness of who you are, knowingness what God is. For we are the light, the expression of that universal energy by whatever name you give it. That it is divine love, that it is infinite wisdom, that it is the unlimited source of all that is. And we are of it, for we are its beloved. We are its idea in physical form. And so therefore I know each and every one of us is imbued with the qualities of spirit, imbued with the qualities of peace, of harmony, of joy. We elevate our consciousness into that awareness of who we are. How perfect knowing this service is already unfolding through the music of Jackson and through Dan, our singer. Knowing that this center has been fully supported through our beautiful Board of Trustees, for all the many wonderful volunteers, whether it be in our sound group, running the video streaming, the technology, for those in our bookstore, in our youth ministry, for Bob, who is signing, and of course for our beloved Reverend Kathleen, for the message that she gives. For I know that these words will strike the chord within you that what you were seeking is being heard. And so I know that the voices of God right now are within you, within each of us, as we listen to each other. It's really God speaking with God, God listening to God. And so I know ahead that this service is good. It's very good. It is blessed, for it is filled with the presence of love, of joy, and life, manifested and expressed through you, as you. And with that gratitude overflowing with my heart, and with childlike simplicity and faith, I know it is true as I release it and anchor it by claiming, and so it is.
Thank you, Hazel. I'm not really great at bossing people around. That was one of my weaknesses as a high school teacher, by the way. But if you are feeling like standing up and letting this music move you, you should do so. This is a great song called Spirit is in This Place. Come together as a family. We have come here as we are. Well, we have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Shouts of praise, Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm our life is we declare that peace is here. Well, it's here. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this place. Shouts of praise, Spirit's in this place. Oh, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in, I said Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof and shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place.
In spirit. How you guys doing? Everybody okay? You guys need some of this? You think it's coffee. My name is Reverend Kathleen Sibley. It is my joy to minister to you today. Please know that whoever you are, well, however much coffee you've had or not had this morning, You are entirely welcome here, just as you are and just as you are not, because we all know that we're here by divine appointment. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living in order to provide tools that transform our personal lives and make the world a better place. Now, we have help with that. We have our circle of licensed professional practitioners, and you've already met Hazel. If there is something that is taking you out of your joy, please be in contact with a practitioner because they can support you. You can do that online through the website. You can do that here at the center by putting in a prayer request in the prayer request box. It's the purple form in the back of the seat in front of you. Yes, it took me a long time to be able to just rattle that part off for some reason. If you fill out a prayer request, you can put it in the brown wooden box, or you can come up front after service and do what we call a 3-minute miracle. You only get 3 minutes to tell us what's wrong and what you want to experience. So I strongly suggest you keep the what's wrong. You know what? You can just ditch that part. Doesn't matter what's wrong. What is it you want to experience? What is it you want to see created in your life? What would be powerful and loving and moving to you? And the practitioners will sit with you and do the work that we do in order to make sure you get to experience that. You can do that by calling our practitioners as well. You can ask for prayer on the phone or via an email. So you can, I know that we have been doing some updating to the website this week, so perhaps it wasn't easy to find before, but it should all be back. The universe has been resettled. Everything is back where it belongs, yes? Okay, so, you know, part of my brain is already on Wednesday and Saturday because those are such big days coming up, and I'll talk about that in my talk. But the truth is that there are many, many right ways to do God, to do spirituality, to experience the truth of our being. And we honor them all. So I'm going to ask our candlelighters to come up. The Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity, based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God is revealed to his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heavens and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with a covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For the Native American and indigenous traditions, here in the Southwest, we say those who walk the good red road, including the ancestral caretakers of this land, the Yavapai.
For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For all of the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone or wisdom keeper.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it.
Thank you, ladies. Could
And
you
so
pull
it
those
is.
hand ones out? Thank you. Thank you. And there is our own affirmation that we say to remind ourselves of who we are. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
as I'm letting go, I am released, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. And as I'm letting go, I am released, I am made whole. And I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. And as I'm letting go, I am released, I am made whole. As I'm letting go, I am released, I am made whole. As I'm letting go, I am released, I am made whole.
Release and let go, knowing that you are whole and holy. Just close your eyes and listen to that still voice within you. This is the mind to trust. This is God consciousness speaking. Release and let go, knowing that you are whole. Take a few moments just to contemplate that, releasing that which no longer serves, and embracing your wholeness and your holiness. What you are seeking is seeking you. Each of us is on our own spiritual journey. Listen to your own truth within you. This is your connection to Spirit, shedding the veils to come back to the deepest truth of your being. You are home. And so it is. Namaste.
And also good to have back home is our soloist today. Back here for the first time in person in well over a year. This is Dan Vega, y'all.
All my love can't save this world. I'm just one man with With all of the greed that holds us down, I can't understand how we just sit down and let the time slip by. I must ask my brothers and my sisters why. You are the light, the love that shines so bright. You are the fire that burns through the darkest night. Don't let the world drag you down. Turn a smile from a frown. Lift your head up to the clouds and see what we all came here to be is free. Free. Oh, free. What's your purpose in this place? Why are you here? And what are you doing with the moments we hold so dear? If you need to walk away, start again. And if you need to leave some things behind, bring them to an end. 'Cause you are the light, the love that shines so bright. And you are the fire that burns through the darkest night. Don't let the world drag you down. Turn a smile from a frown. Lift your head up to the clouds and see what we all came here to be is free. Free. Once you make up your mind, take it one step at a time. Leave your worries behind and see that you are free. And you are the light, the love that shines so bright. And you are the fire that burns through the darkest night. Don't let the world drag you down. Turn a smile from a frown. Lift your head up to the clouds and see what we all came here to be is free. 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 Oh, free. Oh. Thank you so much.
And once again, God's showing off. Because that was my talk. So we're going to go on to, I don't know, donuts? Sounds good, huh? Deep fried carby goodness with sugar. So, wow, that song really did get to me. Did you write that? Yeah. Wow. And you have it recorded someplace we can buy it?
Not currently.
Luckily, I know people who can pray that into being. Hi. Or maybe one of these days I'll turn on the radio and hear it, yeah? All right. So, wow, yeah, that song kind of blew away what functioning brain cells I had. This month we are talking about being pulled by a vision. And this week, the topic we were given to play with is commitment. Now, my brain works a little differently than some people's, and so I went, yeah, but who really wants to be committed? I mean, it's the great institution of whatever, but who wants to be institutionalized? So I went to look it up because I was sure that my buddy Webster would have a better idea of what commitment meant. The nuns would not be happy because apparently the definition of commitment is the act of committing, which does me no good. The state of being committed. I just said I didn't want to be committed. The act of committing. Son of a motherless goat. The act of committing, pledging or engaging oneself, a pledge or promise. And then we're going to ignore the part about the perpetration or commission as of a crime, because that was my other career back in the day. Not being a criminal, but working in criminal defense. You know that, like religious scientists, we are the people who never found a law or a rule we didn't want to at least bend to see how twisty it might be. Yeah? We are the cultural creatives. That is who we are. We want to have a direct experience of God. We don't want to be told how to behave. We want to try it on for size, and we don't believe the whole one-size-fits-all mythology. Yes? We have to have it fit us. If we are going to commit to something, we are going to know it inside and out, and we are going to know why we're committing to it and exactly what it is we're committing to. I'll remind you at the end of this, towards the end of this month, somewhere in the 20s, I think it's in the 20, it's a Saturday, there is a new member Sunday. New member orientation just means you want to know more about this teaching and you want a forum in which you can ask any question in the world about the teaching, not about, I don't know where they get the pink lemons for pink lemonade, okay, guys? Nor do I know how flies land on the ceiling. However, if you're going to commit to a spiritual path, you should know not just what the path looks like, but where you're going. Yes? The spiritual journey is very interesting. I think it should come with, the little writing, where I wasn't told until the end of ministerial school that just because I was on a ministerial journey didn't mean I'd enjoy all parts of it. With all due respect to Texas, some parts of it are like driving through Texas for days and days, where you could fall asleep and wake up and not be sure if you have moved. It's a big state, isn't it? So being committed requires that we be aware, that we be thinking. It is our belief in this philosophy that Spirit created all of this by contemplating itself. In order to contemplate anything, there has to be a subject, as each of us as individuals. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, in the book of Genesis, it talks about Spirit, the divine Spirit, said, "Let there be light," spoke a word, said something, and something was created. Well, those words are based on thoughts, and the thoughts of God are what created you. Each of us individually is created by the thoughts of God, and we are made in its image and likeness. We are made in the same nature as God. So as Spirit, or God, contemplates and creates, so do we create what we contemplate. Now that means that if you are always watching, Lifetime movies, it is perhaps going to create some drama in your life. If you are looking out at the world as if the script for the whole planet was written by Stephen King, Oi, Gewalt. If, however, you will look out at the world and say, maybe I can find some good, and each day you go look for what good has been created. It doesn't have to look like it. Oh, I'm choking on it. It doesn't have to look like a Disney movie. Most of my friends growing up would have preferred the horse to Prince Charming, frankly. But that's because my sister's friends were all equestrians. It doesn't mean that your world that you look out at has to look like anyone else's. You might want Princess Charming. You might want your knight in shining armor to take off the armor so that he, she, or they can be hugged. Have you ever tried to hug someone in armor? Yeah, me neither. I didn't grow up with people wearing armor, sorry. So what we're dedicating ourselves to is learning who we are. Now, there's a story that goes around, and it gets attributed to George Washington, usually at the beginning of July. It gets attributed to great kings and great generals. But the story goes something like this. There is a ragtag little army that is in the battle for their lives in the morning. But first they have to cross a river to get to where the other army is. Personally, I'd have stayed on my side and let them come to me. But that's not how the story goes. So they get in the boat early in the morning, and they cross the crazy water. And when they get out of to where the battle's going to be, the general says, "Do you believe we can win?" And of course, because, it's a rah-rah moment, they say, "Yes, of course we can win." Are we committed to this cause? Yes, of course we're committed to this cause. And so the general or king or George Washington says, "Okay, burn the boats." Burn the boats, because we can't afford a way out of this. We can't afford an escape hatch. There is no clause in this particular sacred contract we call life that says we can just skip it. Now, I know some of you are really smart and are already thinking, have used an escape hatch. I will tell you right now that spirit is eternal. Your spirit is eternal. And if you are thinking that somehow you can get out of this thing called life, you can get out of your physical body, yes. You cannot get out of being you, and you cannot get out of life according to this teaching. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You're allowed to disagree here. But I'm right. I dang well better be, for the number of years I have studied and the amount of money I poured into this education. But it is my personal belief that there has never been a successful suicide. And it was one of my teachers' beliefs that if Jesus believed he was actually going to the cross to die, he never would have been able to rise again. He knew, walking in, that he could not die. And therefore, they could do whatever they wanted to his physical body. And so the master teacher, Jesus, was just giving us another lesson in, look, this is the physical world. I can change it anytime I want, and I am not stuck in here and limited to this physical body. I can change my clothes or my physical body, and it works. Because who we are is so much more than that. Who and what we are is made in the image and likeness of an eternal spirit. And so when we are committed to this life, when we come into this life and sign the sacred contract saying, okay, I'm going to be of this gender, I'm going to look like this, I'm going to have these parents, I'm going to do whatever, and then we come into this life, we have committed, as our spiritual self has committed to riding the whole ride. Now, teaching symbol. We have talked about the teaching symbol, and I finally realized it was this candle, which is several feet in front of me, I'm not setting myself on fire, that people were looking at thinking I was about to set myself on fire. Our symbol that we've talked about all month, the top part is divine spirit, it is pure thought, it is the seed which we plant in the soil of our souls and end up with the plant of our experience. But this V thing, I've shared with you before that when Ernest Holmes came up with this symbol, he was working for the city of Ventura. If you take the two horizontal bars out, that's the symbol for the city of Ventura. There are sermons and stones, people. As we take the divine idea and make it manifest, as Spirit chooses to manifest as this world, we have a divine idea. It filters through our thoughts and beliefs, especially the unconscious ones, and it becomes an experience. That is the bottom of the V, where Spirit gets to have an experience. And you know what? It doesn't stop there. That V has a second side. So as we are having this physical experience, we decide, do I like it? Do I not like it? Is it pretty close? Is it not even close? Is it kind of not an adventure I want to continue on? And you know what we can do? We have our thoughts about it. We create some beliefs about it. Those enter into our soul's library, if you will. And now we can go back up to ourselves as spirit and choose again. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little hook on the end of that V. Because you know what happens when we have had the experience and processed it and come back up and seen it from our divine selves? We dive back down. This ride we're on is not unlike a roller coaster. We keep going down and then back up and then down. And follow the bouncing ball, people. That is your soul. We get to decide. Since we believe that spirit is eternal, since the laws of thermodynamics and most science teach that energy can be neither created nor destroyed, it can only change form. The more we learn about that, the more we find that this physical world is actually energy that's been slowed down enough for us to see it, taste it, and feel it. But we can decide, because we are made in the image and likeness of God, to recreate our world. To stop seeing a world that includes poverty and racism and homophobia and sexism and slavery and all sorts of other stuff, and step into a world that works for everyone. Now, when I say a world that works for everyone, it doesn't mean just from my point of view. It means that we let go of judgment about how other people are doing it. We figure out what works for us, and we get to live in a way that works for us, but we also get to look around the rest of the planet and around the rest of the multiverse and say, we have not left out any of our brothers and sisters in the Christ consciousness. Everybody has clean water. Everybody who wants a roof has a roof. Everybody who wants to dance gets to dance in their own way. Just like, the toddlers, they dance. They don't need the music. They have fun with it. So what we believe, what we teach in this teaching is, as Ernest Holmes would say, to learn how to think is to learn how to live. For our thoughts go into a medium that is that's not the one I was looking for. What we do in religious science is take the world of spirit and the natural laws and try and figure out how they work, so that we may live. One of the ways we do it is by coming together as a spiritual community. Now, on Wednesday, hopefully, many of you, including those whose residential address is not in Arizona, but whose IP address can get you here, we come together and talk about who are we really and how do we want to participate in the world, both digitally and in person. I asked for a town hall meeting to start being a regular thing that we do, because this center belongs to the congregation, whether you are here physically or here digitally. I have been asked to be part of Quad City Interfaith Council, and so I am. And part of what we do is the Evening of Thanks in November. That is the Thursday before Thanksgiving. It's a full week before Thanksgiving. It's an interfaith celebration where we get together and talk about what we believe. We do the Martin Luther King Day celebration, and we also do something called Operation Deep Freeze. Now, all of that is local. Operation Deep Freeze, believe it or not, yes, we live in Arizona, but it does snow and get cold. There was a time when our neighbors were freezing to death because they didn't have houses. And Operation Deep Freeze is emergency shelter for when the weather is too bad in this particular part of the world for people to be sleeping outside. It needs a new home. What do we want to do about that? Is that ours to look at? I'm also on the executive board of the Coalition for Compassion and Justice, CCJ. We spent a week hosting them when their floors were being redone. Not everybody felt that that was ours to do. And there was a conversation that happened before we opened our doors to it. Not everybody feels that that is something we should be doing, that this is, I believe one of the ways it was put to me was this is, the whole building is a sanctuary, and the person speaking to me felt like he wasn't comfortable with his beautiful sanctuary being used in that way. He felt there were other better ways for us to be of service. That's not wrong. There's lots of other better ways for us to be of service. We're a relatively affluent center. And so when Home Office sends me another email saying, hey, we're buying a camp for the teenagers, would you like to donate? I send it to the board and say, hey, would we like to donate? And the board needs to hear from you about, would we like to donate? When there are, we actually just helped create, by fiscally supporting, an online community that is helping to honor our African American ministers and people who have given to New Thought. People who have had huge, incredible impacts within the African American community in the world of New Thought, who might go unnoticed because they don't have as big a platform as, we are still trying to move into a post-racial society. There's lots of ways we can choose to interact. There's lots of great things that we can be doing. What we need to know is what is ours to do, and that requires us to know ourselves, to spend some time allowing the divine idea to come down into form, trying it on, and then trying the next thing, deciding how we felt about that. So on Wednesday, that is the first of many conversations that can happen around what is our way to do it, what is our best and brightest idea. We have to have space to have these honest conversations. And if there's another topic you would like brought up, then bring it up. We have microphones all over the place. Believe me, this is not the only one. The other thing that we'll be doing next week is graduation. We'll be celebrating the commitment to the spiritual path that many people have made. Now, some people do it without a license. Some people do it with a prac license, and some people do it with a ministerial license. Here I am that flavor of crazy. As I tell people that it takes a special flavor of crazy to want to be a minister in this day and age. Because we're about as good as defining what a minister is as Merriam-Webster was in here. A minister is one who ministers. Yeah. So there are all sorts of wonderful things to be committed to. There are all sorts of reasons. People have different reasons to commit to different things. Does anybody here have a four-legged owner living in their house that you are staffed to? Or living adjacent to your house? Maybe they have their own little building. When you take on opening up your home to another living being, there is a commitment there. Whether it's a marriage, an animal, a foster kid, a naturally born to you child, there is a commitment being made there to join your lives. The thing is, if there's really only one of us, and that circle means that it's all God, which means we're all one. As we grow, as we learn, as Spirit contemplates, excuse me, there's a piece of dust somewhere in there. As Spirit contemplates itself and chooses to see itself more clearly as us, as we look in the mirror and come closer and closer to seeing ourselves as we are, Christed beings who are supposed to be doing certain work, as that happens, sorry. As that happens, we begin to see the rewards of our spiritual journey. We get to see what our commitment has allowed us to do. And it's not just like we commit to something, we take a journey, we get to the end. You have to wake up and commit to it every single day, right? Every day you have to reopen your eyes and say, what face of God do I choose to see in the mirror today? Is it going to be hazy and cloudy? Is it going to be completely whiteout conditions? Or am I going to choose to see clearly? A little bit more clearly than I did yesterday. Excuse me. One of the things that happens is that along this journey, we have some people who are great examples. We call them the mystics. Some of them are musicians and lyricists. Some of them are teachers. They're working with our kids in the back right now. Some of them are artists that do physical representation. Some of them sew. Some of them sing. Some of them dance. Some of them come here and go into the silence of meditation. But these are our mystics who have seen the face of God and choose to report back to the rest of us on our path. And if you look at page 333 of our textbook, we are given 3 promises. What Ernest Holmes wrote is that all of the great mystics have taught practically the same thing. They have all agreed that the soul is on the pathway of experience, that is, of self-discovery. That it is on its way back to the Father's house, and that every soul will eventually, ultimately, reach its heavenly home. Now, you can call that heavenly home the Father's house, you can call it nirvana, you can call it enlightenment, you can call it potato. It doesn't really matter. Potato, whatever. Call it what you will. By the time we all get there, we will be beyond words, and so it won't matter what people are calling it. What we call mystics, the people who are here to serve as witnesses, as sacred witnesses to who we really are, in other cultures are called bodhisattva. Those who have seen and choose to reincarnate in this life in order to be of service to the greater whole. There are so many of them. Some of them have titles and some of them you will never meet. The greatest bodhisattva I ever met worked in a file room in the back of a law office. And she would not have known the word bodhisattva. She was a devout Christian. And she was one of the only people I would say, having a bad day, will you pray? And when she talked about her experience of her father's house, of her father, it sounded like someone she'd had breakfast with that morning. She would say, I was talking to my father today. And what she meant was she had gone to prayer. But it was almost like she could have said, Dad. That is the relationship we are to have with Spirit. That is what is walking this path within us. That is the relationship we are to have with the person in the mirror. That loving, that perfect, that accepting of all that we are. No one promised us human perfection. We are already divinely perfect, and I've already talked about that in other talks. But our job, what we committed to, what Spirit has committed to in the creation of this world, is to see itself clearly as us. And we move forward by having those conversations that some people call prayer. On Wednesday, we'll call it a town hall. And so we're going to go into that conversation right now. I pray from here so that we all remember that these words could come out of your mouth. These words hopefully are already echoing in your own heart. These words are Spirit speaking you through me. And so I ask you to join me now. If you want to close your eyes, that's awesome. If you don't, if there is something else you do to get into that attitude of what we call prayer. We're already the one mind. We are already one being living as many, many individuals. That one being is the one mind. It is what we call God. It is the principle, the pure and perfect love and life itself. It is the energy that took form as the whole universe, as all mass. It is the pure and perfect being that had a beautiful thought and created all humans, this planet, all beings everywhere, great and small. It had another perfect thought and created song. It had another perfect thought, and the mystics sang that song. And here we are. The truth is, we are part of that because there is nothing else to be. And so our commitment to discovering that pure and perfect being living in our skin is the truth of who we are. It is the source of all of our true heart's desires. It is the source of our standing up and declaring ourselves as the adult children of God. It is the power that allows us to stand up and see ourselves clearly as authentically rich, as beloved of the beloved. Being part of this great one, being part of our true beingness, is a great light that causes all of the shadows to disappear. And so our belief in brokenness, our belief in depression, our belief in being stuck on the outside, our belief in poverty or injustice, our belief in homelessness or not enoughness, all of that is just, it's rolled up and put with the things we used to believe. As we stand in the truth of our being and the truth of our absolute belovedness and the truth of our wholeness, this is the truth of our being. This is spirit and how it truly sees itself and what spirit chooses to contemplate as us. And so I am grateful that spirit sees so clearly. I am grateful that spirit contemplating and seeing us clearly for what we are and this earth for what it truly is now moving all of that true seeing into being so that we may share that vision. I give thanks that it is done unto us according to the truth of what we believe. And I release everything else, and I release this word into the law, into the natural law that allows us to see it in form. I call it all good and very good, and so it is.
Where we let the love
it be.
Oh, thank you. Please be seated. And as we let all of that good wash over us, we also allow it to wash through us and out into the world with our gifts and our offerings and our tithes. Whether or not you do that online by going to the website or using text to tithe, whether you put something physical in the abundance box that is out there, or you pick up the instructions on how to text to tithe, that is entirely up to you. I ask you to hold that gift over your heart, even if it's symbolically, so that we can bless it together. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank you, Dan, for coming back up.
And thank you, Dan, for letting me play on this one.
Ooh.
When you can't find the light to guide you on a cloudy day, when the stars ain't shining bright and it feels like you lost your way, when the candlelights of home burn so very far away, boy, you got to let your soul shine. Just like my daddy used to say, he used to say, soul shine. It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. And dang sure better than rain. Hey, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine. Shine till the break of day. I grew up thinking I hadn't made, gonna make it on my own. But life can take the strongest man, make him feel so alone. And now sometimes I feel a cold wind blowing through my aching bones. Think back to what my daddy said. He said, boy, in the darkness, just before the dawn, let your soul shine. It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. And dang sure better than rain. Say, hey, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine. Shine till the break of day. But sometimes a man can feel this emptiness, like a woman who's robbed him of his very soul. A woman too, God knows she can feel like this. But hey, when your little world seems cold, you got to let your spirit take control. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give it up for Jackson. Talk about sunshine. It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. And damn sure better than rain. Say, hey, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine. Shine till the break of day. Yeah, it's better than sunshine, better than moonshine, and damn sure better than rain. Say, hey, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine. Shine till the break of day. Yeah, give it up for Jackson Roush. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, yeah? Yeah, some soul shine on us. If you are here for the first time, we would love to welcome you. If you're here online for the first time, we would love for you to tell us where you're watching from. Maybe put that in the chat, and hopefully somebody has their phone out and we can take a look at that. If you are here physically for the first time, or you're back after a long absence, say 2020 happened to you too, we'd love it if you'd stand up. Tell us your name and where you're from, and if you would prefer that the camera not be turned on you just before the camera hits you. This is the part where nobody is allowed to elbow each other to make them stand up. Oh, okay. Yay! Wonderful. Hey, Catherine.
I'm Lynn, and I've been in RV for 7 years, so I've been out and about, but I have been to Reno, CSL, and the one in just north of Mount Vernon, Washington. Starts with a B.
Bellingham?
Bellingham.
Yeah.
With Reverend, somebody who's very well known. And I'm happy to discover you both.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And you were going to... No, it's all right. You can both stand at once. But go ahead, Rick. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And now,
I'm Joanne Tan, and we moved here about a week ago. I grew up around Seattle, and then we lived in Spokane for 37 years, and we lived in RV for a little while, and in Knoxville, Tennessee for 20 years, and we just moved here, and the farmers have been trained, and this has been a wonderful.
wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're here. Wow, we ought to set up like things for RV stuff. And we have somebody online.
And our friend Laura says hi from San Diego, California.
Oh, Laura! Hi, Laura! You're not new. You're one of us. But it's good to hear from you. All right, so how about we bring in the kidlet? So welcome back. Yay! I don't see a microphone.
I see one.
I don't hear one. I apologize.
Applause for this backup microphone that's working so well today.
Yay! We'll take it. No, really, we will take it. Ba-dum-bum. Here you go, dude.
So today, I was asked some questions. The first question was, what is our personal vision of our spiritual life? And how do we see ourselves moving forward in the spiritual truths we talked about last week? And in this coffee container contains what's in everybody's life. So it's like beauty, there's surprises everywhere, tools, and everything matters. And yeah.
And coffee.
And coffee. Obviously coffee.
So do you want to take out one of the items that I asked him to relate these to their spiritual lives? And he was able to do that with all the items in there.
Do you want me to hold it? I'll do it.
So this is like a marker or a pen that has a unicorn on it, and it says don't stop believing, and I think that means don't stop believing in yourself.
Beautiful. Yeah, he wants to play Journey now. It's a song called Don't Stop Believin'. Don't worry about it. You're far too young to know it.
I think you know it. I think I know it.
Okay.
And then we're good.
And then we're good. Okay. So, thank you. So I have to ask. I happen to know that some of our youth were in a dance competition last week. Do you want to tell people how it went?
Sure.
You won in your one of your
One of my dances got in its category first overall, and
so
another
these were just
one,
little like community
and
dance
another one
competitions,
got
right?
yeah, no.
This was the national level, wasn't
This
it?
is the national level. So first it's the normal competition, then you go up to the national competition.
Uh-huh. And your mom placed first in one too, didn't she?
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, Clay and I are also tap dancers, and we received diamond level accolades. We're the special judges award, and we're first in our adults only category, of which we were competing against ourselves.
Also, our big dance with all of the dancers from our studio got a diamond, which is the highest level. So
Very cool. Well done. So I believe in celebrating the little stuff and the big stuff. We don't have to. Fine, let's do our benediction. So I'm going to ask that you stand. We'll do our benediction and sing our way out with the peace song. Many people like to hold hands. If you would prefer not to, I ask you to put your hands over your heart so that people know that you haven't just, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life. Go ahead and grab it.
Yes, there is peace on earth. Yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we're a family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.